just wanna give you my best. I don't even know your name, but you got me, 'cause you're all the die. We don't know what happens next, but you got me, 'cause I'm next to none. You make it look so easy, making me feel so dreamy. Never wanna pay for drinks, but you got me, 'cause you're all the die. Got me locked in now. Go ahead and take a shot. Do you really want me? Maybe you're just playing. The way you're making it move, yeah, you do it so smooth. Make it all about you. Can have it all if you want. Taking the chance, stuck in my head, not gonna leave it at that. Taking the lead, feeling your heat. Just wanna give you my best. Taking the chance, stuck in my head, not gonna leave it. Got me all lost, feel so blue. Leaving me on the spot, so confused. Oh, baby. Tasting so sweet, acting so rude. Won't you tell me what I'm supposed to do? Yeah. High and low, in between. Acting out, make a scene. Working on our body language, working on our body language. Baby, now tell me exactly how you feel. I'm just trying to keep it real. Let me love you on the inside, love you on the inside. Tell me exactly what you mean. You mean everything to me. Let me love you on the inside, love you on the inside. Dance on the beat. I don't want no excuses. You keep me feeling so clueless. I'd like to dream. Keep on dreaming about us, baby. Yeah. Now tell me exactly how you feel. I'm just trying to keep it real. Let me love you on the inside, love you on the inside.
Did everybody hear the intro that I made, or was I on mute the entire time?
You were mute, Queen.
Oh my gosh. Hey, everybody. I am so sorry about that. I didn't know I hit my mute button, but I'm going to tell you guys, welcome for joining us here at the 5S to Love. We're doing real talk with the ladies. And tonight our conversation about high-powered women who are making six figures. So I apologize if you didn't hear that, but I hit the wrong button when I was going through and doing the promo. Sometimes it's a little hard to produce the show while you're in the show. Right? So click the wrong buttons. So please excuse that. And I will definitely go back and edit that out for later. So, hey, ladies, welcome aboard. Hello, everyone.
Hey.
I'm going to do, Precious, I don't want to do a shout out and just single you out, but I want to be clear, girl, you up there in the Vegas doing it.
I mean, one can't argue with the truth. So yes, I'm here in Vegas at the IMEX America 2022 conference. It's where the world's leading conference organizers and event planners are here. And I've already spoken forward 5 times since I've been here. And I have another one tomorrow. So it's been an incredible experience.
Hey, let me tell you something. You did that whole Facebook Live yesterday, and I'm going to tell you, I really enjoyed what you were showing. I was so tired after the show, and I was working, but I had to tune in with you because I was like, I wanted to see the Coliseum. I have never seen a Coliseum like that. It was a football stadium, by the way, everybody, if you missed
Las
that.
Vegas Raiders Stadium, Allegiant Stadium. I could, first of all, they told it, okay, it's a private, it's going to be a private event. We're inviting you to it. So me, my agent, and her husband, thinking, okay, we're just going to get some food. What I walked into, and I know you saw it in my face, what did I just walk? I felt like a 9-year-old who was seeing things with brand new eyes. I walked into the VIP entrance, walked down into like the Hall of Fame area. So everything was luxury. Then when I walked out and saw the entire field, food for days, people out there, cheerleaders, flash mobs, a whole performance, food from around the world. Now, y'all know I did peep the food from around the world, donut walls, all sorts of things. And I'm just sitting here and they playing Beyonce. They was going in. I was like, I can't do this with my phone and show y'all how I'm about to get down. But people were so excited. I was like, y'all, this is for us. I never knew that this was possible the second go round. And to be there, it would, again, you saw it through my eyes too. And I say dreams do come true. Dreams come true.
And so, ladies, I'm hoping tonight we can have some women's dreams come true, because we had a big conversation about this. And just to let you guys know, me and the cast, we actually meet and talk about our titles and what we're going to do on our upcoming shows for the next couple months. And I'm going to tell you right now, this one hit home for me and for a couple of us. So I'm just going to go in real hard because we got some questions. And just to let y'all know, I did a focus group since we last talked with a group of men. And so you're going to see some questions like that are titled Men Want to Know. This really is coming from the men. So they want to know. They said they're going to get in there somehow on the show. And it's not from our group of guys. It's just from guys in general. So the first question I'm going to ask you guys, because we're going to make this hot and heavy. Here we go. Why do you think over 70% of women making six figures are either single or alone? Why do you think that? And so we're going to start with you, Roz. Why do you think women making six figures or more, over 70% of them, are single or alone? Why do you think that?
Great question. I'm back. God has a funny sense of humor right now in my life. I don't know. I think a lot of men are either intimidated and don't understand what we bring to the table, and or want to be so in control, which is fine. But guess what? We can add value. And to meet a man, these nowadays, it means that you really have to understand who he is and where he's coming from. And he has to be confident and comfortable in his skin, right? Like a lot of times we meet people that are very much so ego driven that they
So Roz, you're dripping into our other questions. I'm gonna ask you the question again. It's real simple. Why do you think 70% of women making over six figures or more are single or alone? That's a quick question. Why do you think? What jumps to the top of your head?
They want to meet someone in the club and pay $5 for a drink and think you're going to fall in love with them. Sorry, not wrong girl.
Okay, that's what you think. All right, Sheila, why do you think?
I think Ross hit on it a little bit. I think a lot of men, whether they want to admit it or not, are intimidated, even though we don't come across that way. As one of my friends who was on this panel told me years ago, it's the way you carry yourself. They get intimidated by that. And most men don't even know how much money I make. I don't even bring it up. But just the fact that we carry ourselves is, I think they're a little intimidated whether they want to admit it or not.
All right, so you think it's intimidation. Roz, you think it's cheap drinks. Toy, what do you think?
I think it's lack of confidence.
I'm just saying, I got to bullet it. So we got basically intimidation, cheap drinks. Toy, what do you think it is?
I don't think it's one answer to that. I think there's multiple answers to that. I don't think that all men are intimidated by women that make six figures. I don't. I believe that some women.
Well, no. That's not our question. Our question is, why do you think over 70% of women making over six figures or more are either single or alone? That's our question.
Right. So
what do you think?
Well, I think there's multiple things. I think there's a culture issue, right? Especially with us coming out of COVID. Everyone's in their home. It's hard to go out. People are not getting out as much as they should be. Yes, there are men that could be intimidated, But there's another side that there are women who, when they get money, they start smelling themselves and they are intimidating. And so
Okay.
it's a multiple group of answers to that. It's not just one.
Oh, no, and I agree. That's why we have a lot of questions I'm going to ask you guys tonight. So yours is basically COVID, we got intimidated and cheap drinks. That's what we got on the books so far.
We're also very busy too,
drinks.
Chris. We're also very busy. Some of us are very driven.
Okay. All right, but that's so Precious. What's your answer? What's yours?
I could agree with all of these, and I also think, listen, I'm much busier than I've ever been. So,
Okay.
Online dating, no. And the men that I do meet in real life, I'm not sure if it's me they want, or who they think I am. So that's another thing. And honestly, when our Queen Queen Toy talked about smelling ourselves, I was like, maybe I'm smelling myself because I never smelled myself before, and I was always told what I wasn't. And so now that I am who I know myself to be, it ain't what you think.
Okay, so you think is imposter syndrome. We got COVID, we got intimidation, we got drink. Okay, I'm just, I
got to why you did that. I like that.
Chris, what's your response?
So I want to be clear. We have a lot of questions, so therefore,
we gonna go through. Okay,
we gonna hit it because there's a building point to this. So I want to be clear. A lot of what you guys said, you're going to be able to elaborate more. But the short answer is those bulleted points. So, folks, let's go ahead and hit the next one because I'm interested.
Before we go,
yes.
Chris, what's your response to that question?
Oh, what's my response?
Yeah.
Oh, my response is I just think overall it's a misunderstanding. It's a misunderstanding. That's what I think it is. I think they see relationships one way and the value one way, and then we see it another way. And I think it's a misunderstanding. And it's called a misfire. So my answer is a misfire, COVID, cheap drinks, COVID, and basically imposter syndrome. That's what we got. Okay, there you go. So the thing is, this is what men want to know. What does your ideal mate look like on paper? Okay, what does your ideal mate look like on paper? And ladies, this is just bulleted. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You don't have to do the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but this is bulleted. Okay, so Toy, I'm gonna start with you because you're with your dude. So I need to know, was this on your paper before you met him? That's your question is different. Was this on your paper before you met him?
I've been married 27 years. I didn't have a paper back then. I didn't have a paper. So, but I knew what I wanted when I saw it, right? I knew I wanted tall, slim, and I got that, right? But I wanted somebody that I'm compatible with, that I enjoyed being with, that had a great personality, that could make me smile. I was not looking for, I was 23 years old when I got married. I met my husband right before I turned 19 years old. And so I didn't have a bullet point at that time. I just wanted to meet a man that I could serve, love, and, one day marry. And I really wasn't thinking about marriage at that time, but I knew I just wanted one guy that was a great guy that I can, build something with. And great meaning that he was respectful, he was honorable, he had something going on with his life, and I was ready to help him build whatever that was. And my husband, he hadn't even started his business when I met him, but he would show me drawings of houses that he one day wanted to build, and I knew that I wanted to be the wife that helped him to reach that goal. And as a result, that's exactly what I did.
Okay, so then I'm going to ask Roz, what's your ideal man on paper?
Because I don't feel like a man is a drawing. I feel like he is, under God, he should be my king. And I look for someone who is compassionate, empathetic, and also very able to communicate and get me. And I get him. I'm looking for necessarily a soulmate. I feel like I should be able to complete him, and likewise, I should be able to bring him peace, but he also should understand that we both should understand that we're going to change in a relationship. We're not going to stay the same. You know, if you're with someone from day one to day whatever, they're going to change. Your body type is going to change, everything. So I'm just looking for someone who is able to revolve and be okay with that and understand me and get me. And likewise.
Okay. All right. And so Precious, you know I'm saving my girl Sheila for last because I need her to marinate on it. I need her ears to be tightened up. Because just get ready, Sheila. You're my last. No, I'm gonna be my last one. So y'all, because I know Ross is gonna point it at me. Well, Christine, what do you think? I know she's gonna do it. Okay, so Precious, I already know half of your list, but I ain't gonna give out your list. So you go ahead on. Just go, Precious. What you got?
I wish I could tell you. I mean, I've written lists before, but honestly, I felt like my ex-fiance. If you would have put him on paper, he's what the Beyonce's Halo was written about. Like he was kind, he was considerate, he was funny, and he always understood how to move. Like he could cook, clean, but his most important thing is he understood me and I understood him because we was from the Loop. High school, he was just a good man, period, had his own job. You know, that's what I'm saying. He really was that dude. I know we talked about the actor a lot, but he was that dude, and he's still that dude.
He's still that dude. Okay, so Sheila, what is your ideal guy on paper?
Most of you guys or ladies took my answer, but honestly, I don't have a piece of paper. I feel like when you have that piece of paper, you're missing out on that person that is for you. Some folks or people or women get so caught up in he's got to be 6 foot. No pun on you, Toy, because I know your husband. He's all that.
6'5", tall. Yeah.
But I think when you start compartmentalizing, putting these, she's crazy. Putting these things out, you miss
your husband on the table, so we can just refer back to it like that.
I just feel like I don't have a piece of paper. I don't have an ideal. I mean, as Ross said, somebody that's respectful, somebody that I can get along with. Like Precious said, I love to have that companion where we like similar things. But honestly, I don't have a piece of paper because that paper may interfere with me missing the person that is sent for me or is going to be for me. It's a feeling that I have inside. He could be 5'6" as long as he's about his business and make me funny. If you happen to be 6'10", you know, I don't get caught up in all those superficial things. I know it's important, but I can feel it when I have a connection with somebody, to be honest.
I think that's really sweet. I got a list. And everybody knows number one on my list. And we're gonna keep it real. Your penis has got to work. At 51, your penis has got to work. That's number one. Number two, you got to be a man of faith. We don't the religion. As long as you're not Muslim, we good. Because I'm not wearing no sheets. So we clear on that. Now I could wear it like a Chanel scarf. We can talk about it. But I'm just saying no sheets. The other thing is I do like chocolate, but I'm okay with a butterscotch and a little vanilla. But I do like my chocolates. You have to be at least 6 foot to ride this ride. We're gonna make at least 6 foot to ride this ride. You know why? Because I'm gonna wear heels and I need to look up. I need to see something. Because if I'm looking at you or looking down, that toddler complex might hit me. I'm a real woman. I'm gonna tell you I'm a deficit in that area. That's a deficit. But we're gonna be okay. And the other thing is you gotta have a sense of humor, and I need you to be rock star confidence. I love an alpha male. Honey, because when I get home, I'm not an alpha. I'm very obedient. What you want? Baby, I got it.
You studied your questions ahead of time.
You know I got it. All I'm asking for is a little respect. Give it to me. That's all I want.
I feel like going on that Glorilla. I might be getting my hurt today, but I'm rich tomorrow. Like I'm not gonna care tomorrow. Like I think we're saying all these great things, but I didn't come on here to fake fraud and fugazi this conversation. I want to have a real one. If you want 6 foot tall, I mean, I would prefer that, but I've only had one tall man in my life, and looking up was a beautiful experience for me. It was a beautiful.
Well, Precious, you're really tall though. Precious, you're tall.
I am a 5'9".
Yeah, Precious is tall, and that's without heels. So in her case, that's a little bit different. I'm little. I'm 5'7", so it ain't gonna take much.
5'7",
you know what I mean? I'm 5'7". I'm little, and really, okay, I'm 5'6.5". I'm trying to hit that 5'7". Don't fool me. Okay? I'm 5'6.5". But the point is, I do,
I was
and
about to
outside
say,
of
because
that,
I'm 5'7". I'm like, you 5'7", I'm 5'7".
I love
okay,
that
well,
the sister, she didn't say nothing out loud until
I
you
know.
said it. She's like, I'm gonna let that slide because
I
I'm
know.
gonna check you later.
And look, I was waiting for Sheila. Now, Sheila, I heard what you said. I didn't rehearse it. That's just my thing. I don't, because you know what? I am who I am, and I've been this way, and I know what I like, right? And so it's not a rehearsal. And I prefer somebody that's physically fit. I really don't want a man with a big stomach. I just don't, because I don't have one. I don't think I should accept it. So I need you to be on your way to losing weight. We can lose weight together. Maybe that's something that'll help us bond.
You got some ambition?
Right. See,
Well, I'll say this. Can I say this, Christine? That I'm gonna tell you this. If I was single right now, I'm gonna tell you that the most attractive man in the world is a man who has no problem with lifting his hands up in worship. It is nothing like and I'm not talking about a guy who's kind of crazy with it. I'm talking about a man who has a pure love for God. I mean, because in the midst of the storms that you're going to face in marriage, in your relationship, or even in your future marriage, you're going to need a man of God who's going to help, that's going to pray his family through it. Because I don't 100%. Care if he's got abs of steel. I don't care if he got 8 figures. I don't care how many cars he has. I don't care about none of that. Because listen, trouble is going to come. And you need a man who has a heavenly father that's leading the way, and not his pride, not his trauma from the past. Someone who's going to pray you through, and that when you have children and they sit at the table and he tell them about the word of God. That's what's sexy. When a man walks through his house, I was on my girlfriend's house, and we were doing a live video or whatever, and her husband was walking through the house, declaring the word over the family. I said, right before we started, she was like, babe, we about to start. I said, leave him alone. Leave him alone.
And that is
nothing more sexier than a man who loves
and
God.
I'm going to tell you guys, that's why that's my number 2 after he got to be working. That penis has got to work, and number 2 is faith. Because I'm not going to have no faith in you if I'm not having amazing sex. I need you to put the faith
first, though. I'm going to need you to put the faith first.
I'm going to be clear. I'm going to be clear for it. And I'm okay. And listen, I'm okay with, go ahead, Roz. Roz, what you say?
What did you meet the man that? What did
okay,
you
let's
meet
be clear. I've met men who had ED, and I'm sorry. At 51, I'm at my prime.
I've met men who are God worshipers, but they're also cheaters because they're hypocrites.
No, I said God worshipers.
I said that's the first thing. Now we're not, because listen, that's not a real man of God. I'm talking about a wholesome man of God.
What? At the end of the day, they're men first. They're men first. So,
but no. When you become a child of God, God comes first. It's not man first. It's him first now, and that's what a man of God understands. So a man of God who thinks that a man of God who thinks that he's first, that's the one that's going to go out here and cheat. That's the one that's going to disrespect you and dishonor. But the man who truly puts God first is not going to put his desires over God. It ain't even at this point. It ain't even about you at this point, because his relationship is so strong with God that he fears God more than he fears you.
Okay.
See, like there's nothing more. Like we were sitting at the table. My husband was teaching our kids, our boys, our young men, and reminding them about the word of God, even at they're 23, 22, 21, 18. It was something that it's so attractive when that happens, right? Now we got all the other things that comes from out of that spiritual relationship he has with his heavenly Father. I'm not talking about somebody that's playing church. I'm talking about somebody that's really, truly a man of God.
Okay, so Roz, she just made a point. So ladies, if you're watching, there's a difference between, and Roz, if you can flip your phone for me.
Yeah.
I'm going to take Roz out. There's a difference between a man who's truly a man of God and a man who's practicing and playing with it. There's a difference. So I want to say thank you to our viewers. Gerald, thank you so much for joining us tonight. He says, I totally agree with Chris. Thank you so much, Gerald. I appreciate that. He said, what does that look like, Miss Toy? And Miss Toy just explained that just a few minutes ago. And thank you, Toy, for explaining that for me. And then we have a new viewer who is Anita, I think it's Hartsfield. She
It's
said,
my
God
auntie.
comes first.
Ah, that's
It's
the auntie.
auntie.
Hey, auntie.
Okay, hey, Auntie, what's going on? So listen, again, and I want to say this, folks, for everybody, and Shantae, thank you so much, honey, for joining. She said, amen, amen. I want us to understand when we talk about this, everybody, no woman wants the same type of person. That's the reason why so many crayons in the Crayola box, right? For some women, faith is number one. For other people, humor may be. For other folks, finance may be. You know, we're not here to judge anybody. We're just saying for each of us, this is what's important. And so the thing is, you got to find somebody who meets that compatibility level that you have, right? So again, I know some people, because some folks are saying some stuff to me that y'all can't see. I just want to say we're not downing nobody. Some of y'all swinging is number one. If they swingers, I don't know. Just go with it. We're gonna be okay with you.
Hey, do what you do, but know that there's a cost.
Do it and be okay with it, because I don't judge. I don't judge. So she says, I totally agree. You know, I've lived this. And the thing is, she has, and I know Shantae, and she's right about that. And so Cook comes in, she says the 5 F's. Cook, thank you so much for supporting the 5 F's. Now, ladies, you know, I didn't think that question was going to give us all that magic. But here we go with question number 2. What percentage of men do you feel are intimidated or emasculated by high-powered women? What percentage? We're going to start with you, Precious. What percentage of men feel that way about high-powered women?
What is I've never even thought about that.
Do you think it's like 50%, 20%?
I don't, and I know a lot of some people already know who I am. I don't think they're intimidated by how women until someone else says something. So I meet a lot of great men. Honestly, I really, really do. But my mindset right now is, and I'm gonna be honest with y'all, is on that business. And you know, with monkeypox, smallpox, cooties, pandemic, I don't know what people got. So those cooties may be real. So if we can eat, that's cool. But I ain't really
monkeypox, all of that.
You know, but with all of that, I maybe 30 to 40%. But I also see couples that are both high powered, one's less, and it can be beautiful too. So I think 30 to 40%.
Okay, so guys, when we come right back from this commercial break, we're going to start with Sheila to find out what percentage does she think of men are intimidated by high-powered women. I can't wait to hear this. Hey guys, welcome back to the 5 F's to Love, Real Talk with the Ladies. We've got Toy, Sheila, and Precious. And by the way, let you guys know, Roz is in Chicago and having some connection issues with her Wi-Fi. So Roz is going to be going in and out. When she does connect, I'm going to bring her back in. So when we left off the conversation, you know, a lot of times, as Sheila and I have this conversation, Precious and I have this conversation, and Roz, because see, Toy, you married, so you don't really be having this conversation, but you probably hear this conversation. We be sitting around like, are men intimidated? Like, what's going on? Why won't they just approach us or talk to us? So I'm going to tell you, we got a lot of folks over here in our little bank. But Toy, we're gonna start with you, and then I'm gonna go to our viewers who are watching. And thanks everybody for watching us here on the 5F's to Love Network. Tonight is Real Talk with the Ladies. And so Toy, what percentage do you think of men are intimidated by men? I mean, by high-powered women?
So first we have to narrow the number down to how many men that would actually date a high-powered woman. So when that number crunches down, because we can't say all men, because all men will probably most likely not date a high-powered woman. But I think the number is not as high as we think it is. I think it's a low number. I think maybe 10 to 20%, maybe.
Ting. So I'm going to say, ting, you got the right answer. So before we go to our next, before we get Precious, because I know what Precious, I already know what she's going to say. She makes me laugh. Gerald, thanks again so much for viewing us. She said you are making some good points, Chris. Thank you so much, Gerald. And then Anissa says the 5F's to Love compatibility app would help to determine common core values. You know what? That's my BFF from college. You better go, Cook. Cook said you better be girl, you created a compatibility app. Cook, you better do it. By the way, folks, it's available on Apple and Google Play. You can download it now.
Shameless plug. Go in.
You're compatible with your mate. Okay. Gerald also says the answer to the second question is it depends on if she brings that power home, if with her, or leaves it at the office. There should only be one authority in the household, and that's God. So he is a little emblem, and that would be God. And so the thing is folks, I want you to understand, I totally agree with what Gerald just said. And I think what happens is, Toy, men end up hooking up with that type of woman. And Sheila and I say it all the time. So Sheila and I laugh because when we go out, people have no idea what we do. They just know when we walk in, it's like a music video and wind is blowing up on us because the outfits are so fly. You know, the outfits are just fabulous, you know. And so what happens is you think because the music video is playing that we somebody, you know. But what you don't realize is me and Sheila regular people. We don't even think about our jobs and what we do. Right?
Right.
And I know for a fact Precious don't, because Precious, half of the people, unless they seen her on a TV show, Precious be like, well, what's up? How you doing? Like, and you don't even know until you be like, oh my gosh, she's somebody famous. Like, you don't even get it. But that's after the fact. Now, Toy, I know for you, your husband already know you famous because you in everybody's household telling everybody how to be a satisfied wife, how to join that club. And by the way, folks been asking me, how can they sign up to be in the Satisfied Wife Club? You know?
Go to www.satisfiedwifeclub.com. Okay,
I'm going to tell y'all right now, I knew she was going to do it. But I'm going to let y'all know, we're going to be promoting her upcoming event, but it's only for Michigan. We will be running a commercial for her upcoming event on the podcast so you guys can see what's going on, as well as Precious' new book that's coming out. That commercial will be playing as well. And y'all already know the Adventures of Sheila and Christine. You already know what's happening. We got some stuff playing. Me and Sheila been talking. So y'all better watch out, okay? Because it's going down this fall. We're going to talk about folks getting in shape. Our thing is we bringing in 52 hot. Don't wait on it. Don't sleep on our 52 hot. Okay, so let me ask you, this is the question that honestly I have a lot with Roz, Precious, and Sheila. And Toy, I know you have it because you got a lot of high-powered women around you. But we always ask, why is it that high-powered men are highly sought after, but not women? Why do you think there's a difference? Because if you hear about a man making 6 figures or more, he got like 100 drones after him.
Baller alert.
What is it?
Baller alert.
I'm just, why can't we get a baller alert? I should have, men all up on me, trying to run me down to wash my car. Me and Sheila said we can't even get a drive-through meal at McDonald's. What's up? We can't even get a drive-through.
I think, I don't know who you're asking first, but I think we have to look at the priorities of what men want on their list, because a lot of times men don't want or are not looking for high-powered women. That's not saying I want this one. That's not top of their list. They are visual. They want other things. So what you bring to the table, especially if they're about their business, your money is much lower. There's a few men that'll say, okay, you bring yours, we bring it together. But a lot of men don't look at that. as their top choices for a woman?
I think that we need to define what that terminology means. What does high-powered man or high-powered woman is? Because I actually despise the actual terminology. I do, because it tells the woman who is a middle class that she's not high power, and I just believe that she is. And so I think the problem is when we think we high power, that's the problem. When even whether it be a man or a woman, is that when you come in the room, I'm high power. It's like, sit your tail down. That's why don't nobody want to be with you, because the attitude comes with the high power attitude, and it's just so ugly and unattractive. And so I was at out in Birmingham. Here in Michigan, Birmingham is more high-end restaurant, high-end living or whatever. And I was in a line with some ladies who was lawyers or whatever, and there was a young lady who was so-called, she feels that she's high power. She's a high power lawyer. And she was like, they're just intimidated by me. I said, I don't think they are, and she was like, well, I believe that they are. She said, well, you don't think so? I said, no, I don't think every man that approaches you is intimidated by you. And she was like, well, she said, well, what do you think? I said, well, let me ask you a few questions. I said, when you're dating a guy, do you let him open your door? Oh, no, I can get my own door. I said, okay, all right. I said, so when a guy is in your life, you're dating a guy or whatever, do you allow him to help you, like pick up something or carry something that you have? And listen, I'm not I'm not one of them women that need me and to do all of this for me. I said, and this is why they're intimidated by you, because there is no place for them to belong. A man, I don't think like he's a superhero in your life. Right. He needs to feel that there's a space that you need him. There's so if you don't need him to do nothing, then guess what?
Not everybody thinks that.
Add a little to this conversation.
Go ahead, Precious. I'm sorry.
I just want to add a little to this conversation. I love the questions you're asking, Queen Toy. They're not opening the door for me, and as much as I'd like it, it's kind of weird for me to say, "Can you open the door?" I feel at 5'9" and being a full figure, none of y'all may not go through this, but I know what I go through. There is no, I'm opening the door for her. I want to come in and swoop it. I don't get that, and I've been wondering why is that, right? And let me be clear. I don't walk in like I'm so high out, but what I'm not gonna do is let you. You don't have to notice me, but don't ever make me feel like I'm insignificant, right? And so I watched a lot of great women. Maybe they had a certain look or whatever, and I'm not hating. Let me say it again. I ain't hating because I know what I already bring to the table. Whatever you bring to the table is awesome, but I don't get what I hear women say all the time. Oh, he wanted to open the door. That doesn't happen for me. And I'm not sure why. I don't know if it's weight. I don't know if it's my height. I don't know if it's my skin color. And these are things that aren't really talked about. Soft life. He's coming. Oh, it's like, I don't get it anyway. I would say
it this way. I haven't got it yet.
Let me chime in. I'm sorry, Chris.
No, I was going to say we haven't got it yet. And just to let you know, that is one of our questions about attraction and appeal to the opposite sex. That is one of the questions, because I think it is all about perspective. Again, all of us are seen differently. And unfortunately, people equate little with adorable and lovable, right? And then they equate bigger with, oh, she's strong, she can pick up. No, that don't mean that. I hear a lot of people say, Christine, you strong like a man. What does that mean? What can you still keep?
Or I'm supposed to fend for myself because I have to be strong. I have to. Coming home, who's gonna be there? It's like, bro, you not. I got to take care of myself because you're not.
I have to take care of myself.
I want to say something about what Toy said about the definition of high power. First of all, I don't go in. I'm going to speak for me personally. I don't go in acting like that. I do want a man to open my door. I have all those qualities. I've been married before, so I know what that feels like, right? It's what other people label you as because you're successful. I don't walk around saying I'm successful. I do this. People automatically see you. And Chris and I talk about this all the time. I literally have to go and give compliments more than any person will ever have to do, just to pull the energy down and say, hey, that's not who I am. Like Chris said, we're real people. It's what other people label themselves. I am not opposed to a man opening the door for me. Chivalry is not dead in my house. But to Precious' point, If someone doesn't do it, doesn't mean that she's not asking for it, doesn't want it. It's just not happening for her. So why is that? So we gotta, as women, stop saying, well, she thinks she's high power, she's all that. That's just a very small few, and pray for them if they really are like that. Because all of us are not like that because we're successful.
Of course not. That's why I said.
And I know some people like that.
Right. There are some people, I'm not saying general. First of all, I know none of you walk in the room like that. So
Okay,
I don't generalize anybody. That's why I said some women come in, they have this high power attitude. I've met some that come in and they smelling themselves. They can't even speak to you. You like, ugh. And it's like,
And you know what?
I don't even want to be around
That
you.
comes from a place
And
of
you
hurt.
shouldn't.
That comes
So
from
let
a
me
place
tell
of
you
hurt.
something. This leads into our next question. And ladies, I knew this was going to be hot and heavy, but let's see if we can give specific answers for the next couple ones so we can get to the whole, because we got one that's really going to sum all this up, and it's from the men. And they want me to ask y'all this, but this is what the men want to know. If you take away the money and the title, what do you bring to the table? So at the end of the day, Precious, tell me. I can go first. I'll make it easy.
Go first, Chris. We want to hear your
gonna go first because Sheila say I'm practicing, but I'm really not practicing. So at the end of the day, this is what I bring to the table. I am 100% submissive, laid back. I work in my yard. I like to clean. I don't cook, so you're going to have to cook. But I can make a pretty table and some fruit bowls, okay? Be clear with that, and I can make a nice little sangria if it's an outdoor situation. I don't mind building stuff. I don't mind fixing stuff. I'm going to rub your back. I'm going to have your back. I'm going to pray with you, and I'm going to love you up to the point where you're probably going to sick of me loving you up. I'm one of those people, I like to cuddle and be with you. But the bottom line is I'm not going to show that to everybody. And you're right. There's an outer shell that's hard, but you, honey, when you get to the core, it's so much love in here. You're going to feel like you just didn't won the lottery. On top of the fact that I am bringing a couple dollars with me. So it's a win-win. And I'm not rough on the eyes. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm kind of cute. And I dress up in couture. So I bring that little couture to it too. You know what I'm saying? And I'm smart. So yeah, I'm like all of that. So, okay, Precious, what you got? When you peel back the layers, who is Precious? What you offering? What you got?
What I bring to the table.
What you bringing?
I love writing poetry to my man. I love cuddling. I'm also very strategic and very cunning. So whatever you need, it's like that song F with me. You know I got it. We can take the money and I'll let us sit. What you trying to do? We can build together. And it's because I've come from nothing. If that ever happened to us again, we're gonna come out of it together. And I think my hard time in answering this question is knowing that I'm a work in progress. And with all the hurt that I've been through, and I feel that a lot of women and men have been through, that sometimes you don't know how to fully articulate because you haven't met the person that really makes your heart shine. Or if you did meet that person, they're gone. So the actor used to ask me, what do you, not even ask me, he would say, women, I want to know what do women bring to the table? And sometimes until the right person comes, you'll never know.
You'll never know. See, that's beautiful. Sheila, what you bring to the table? Because I just could have told yours too, though, but I didn't.
You did pretty much.
I know I did, because we want the same thing.
I'm not defined by my money and my title. I've never lived my life that way. That is not the way I was raised. God's first in my life. I'm a nurturer. I've raised some kids. Some of us can attest to that. I love to have fun. I can cook, so I can get in the kitchen and do some things. I keep a clean house. You can see from the background.
It do look pretty clean.
So there's so many facets of me that I would love for a man to get to know. I am not going to lead by my title and my money. Hopefully you get to know Sheila, because that's who I am as a person and what that means. And the right person will be, I hopefully, very well pleased once they peel back that perceived layer that they put on me, because that's not the way I'm coming to you.
And I'm going to keep it real with y'all. Sheila do cook, but one thing you got to know, you're going to have to keep her car clean. She get that car washed every week.
Just like a dude.
She love that car wash. Roz, don't be coming in here with your, your celebrity list. When you peel back the layers, who is the real Roz? I know you cook, so we can just tell the truth on that. And you're such a loving person. Go ahead, finish the rest of it. Roz is such a lover and giver. Okay?
Yes, she is. Everybody. It's everybody.
to everybody. And her children, I'm telling her story. Go ahead, Roz. Because your mute is on. I can't unmute you. Okay, so listen, y'all can't hear Roz, but this is what's going on with Roz. Roz is such a giver. She's loving, caring, supportive. She'll do anything in the world for you, even if you're not her family. She bends over backwards for you. So I don't understand. And she looked like she wanted the Rashads over there. You know, Felicia, her sister, this cousin. She fine like wine, honey. So I don't understand what's the holdup over here. We're going to keep it real. Now, listen, my next question is, how do high-power women feel comfortable dating a man with less money and professional status? I'm going to tell you right now, I almost went out with the DTE man who was working on my power line. Don't fool with that, okay? But the DTE man, this is how it went down, though. He was looking at my gazebos and stuff, my backyard. He was fixing the line. He was like, you know, you a nice lady and everything. He was like, but you probably got a man. I was like, do you see somebody here? Hello. So what happened was he got a little pushback as he's connecting. He up there working on the DTE lines. He got a little, I'm not going to say intimidated, but I think just from seeing my space externally, he just got kind of like, ugh. You know what he said? I make really good money. That's the first thing he said. I said, I don't care about your money. Are you a good person? Okay, but you know he was over 6 foot though. Don't play with that. You knew that. I would have walked away if he was like, you know, below that. Okay. So I mean, real talk, Sheila, what's going on? What you think? What you got?
You know, I don't have a problem with dating a guy who made less money than me. When I was married, my husband at the time, I was a breadwinner, but we never let that get in the way of anything, right? As long as I see that he's about his business and he's doing what he's supposed to do, he's a hustler, he's working for, you know, to better himself, he doesn't have to match my money, because I'm a believer. We put it all together. I know a lot of people don't believe in that.
I do believe
we put it all together to be better as a couple. So I'm not opposed to that. Just don't, and Chris already know this, but just don't be asking to borrow money from me all the time. That is not gonna happen. That's a turn off. I mean, you know, especially early on. If we've been together,
we remember that, don't we, Sheila? We remember that.
Don't be asking to borrow no money, nobody. From no woman.
For the right person, it's the situation. I mean, I'm being silly, but for the right situation, you know, if we're into each other, I'm not saying you can't. I'm untouchable. But if that's your intent, you just see me as a meal ticket. Not gonna happen.
I just want to be clear. Precious, before you answer that question, we got a couple of our viewers left comments. Gerald said, awesome. Point Toy. He said he was with you. You were talking. I just couldn't interrupt because we was getting hot and heavy. Nicole, thank you so for joining us. She said, yes, people definitely label you, and they do. Anissa, thank you. What is it? No, this is Anita. Oh, okay, this is the family. Hey, family, what's going on?
That's Auntie.
That's Auntie over there. Auntie says, I'm really enjoying the conversation, ladies. Thank you, Auntie. We enjoy you joining us, and we love all of our viewers' comments. Nicole says, she said, I agree, Precious. Sometimes until the right person comes along, a person doesn't know. They don't know who you are. Like and the thing is, you connect with people differently, and that's something that Toy said on our other show, is how people connect with you. Tandra Price, thank you so much for joining us, honey. I really appreciate your support. Hey, Tandra. Look, that's our little posse at. All right, Sheila. What she say? All right, Sheila, go ahead and cook these. Okay? Because she will be burning, but I'm gonna tell you right now, ain't nobody got Miss Toy beat over there. Because y'all heard about that fried chicken. Toy, I already told you. I got some DMs. I said, if you coming, I'm gonna have to call Toy to get that chicken though.
She got that hibachi grill going on too. They didn't hear that part last time.
Honey, she got that. You know what I'm saying? Now, Nicole said, Raj, your hair is on fire. Okay, your hair is on fire. Nicole, stop trying to join the show. She said, LOL, Chris. Stop trying to. And Nicole, she said, amen to that, Sheila. Are you in real time with us, Nicole?
Yep.
Girl, thank you so much. She said, and so Gerald said, do men really ask to? And he said, do men really ask to? Men really ask to?
Yes,
they do.
Yes,
they do.
Forget what you heard. It's that flavor in your ear. Yes.
I can tell you some stories about men literally asking not for a little bit of money, for a lot of bit of money.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's
so girl, I hope that
ridiculous.
answers your question. Miss, look, even
Ridiculous.
Toy, who's been married, go, yes, they do.
Well, because when I coach women, I hear them having the single women having those problems.
said,
I'm like,
wow.
be done with that. That's like a sign of saying, leave that relationship. You know, it's
I
a
have a
sign.
son, and Toy has sons too. I wish my
Mhm.
son would ask a woman for
I
some money.
wish
He'd
my
rather
son-
not.
Oh my gosh. Let me tell you something.
No.
And Julian,
You better
I know
go
your
hustle and
friends
get a
are
third, fourth,
watching.
fifth job before he asks a woman for some
Oh,
money.
100%. And I know Julian's not watching, but his friends watches, and he says, Mom, my friends think you're hilarious. My son will not even take money from me.
That's right.
It takes everything he has. Like, I'm like the last resort. Like, you ain't got, and he's only 20 and he refuses. I'd be like, don't give it to me.
Yep.
You know, and I like that about him. So Nick says, yes, amen. And so Nick also says, I just received your notification and jumped on before the meeting. And let me tell you something, that right there, that's one of my gal pals, Precious Noser. Nick is a nut. When I tell you, Nick wants to be a personality on the podcast. She wants to join us. Nick, stop
She trying to tell
interviewing.
you,
Don't do it.
Flex in the comments.
She's
Flex.
interviewing. Okay, so the question is, how do you men want to know? How do you view a man who makes less? And we answered that question. So, Precious, the question goes to you. How do you view a man that makes less money than you?
I don't even know how to answer that question. Most that I've met, I do make more money than I'm not looking at you for the money though. I'll be honest with you. I'm not looking for it. Since I'm not hitting the skins. Listen, I just want to be friends for right now. Let's check things out. You making less money. I'm cool with that. I'm trying to get with Miss Queen Toy talking about open the doors, stuff like that. The stuff that I've seen other women get that I ain't got, baby. I'm not even looking at you for the money. I'm like, yo, can somebody open up that door? Can you feed a sister? Can we feed each other mentally?
That's
I ain't looking
right.
at you like that.
Do you look,
Unless
Toy?
you're trying to go to McDonald's, then I'm gonna be like, come on, bruh. That's
Toy,
some
you
16-year-old
bringing it.
stuff.
Toy, she say, can I just get a door open? That's what I'm trying to get right
Just get
now.
the door-
To get you
Let
a
me-
little money.
I'll say
So
this,
the thing
Christine.
is, go ahead, Toy.
I'll say this, that I think the worst type of man is a broke man. Now, I am not talking about broke in finances. I'm talking
Okay.
about broke in spirit. Like he has a broke attitude. Like even when he has money, he's broke, right? It's something more worse than money. It's a brokenness in a man that's always asking and always taking, never giving, right? You know, he hasn't built his character. He's still acting like a child and not a man. It's something broke about him. That's what the real problem is. I don't think women have a problem with a man who works for DTE. Hey, DTE, they make good money at DTE. They can live a high raise. Listen, men at DTE have raised whole families, okay? They done built houses,
Listen, we
raised
got garbage
families. They're
men
good men.
making some
Listen,
coin. You ain't,
they
don't
down home regular men, and I think that's
Down
what
home.
we need to look for. Down home
Right.
regular men
Good
with
guy.
going out here to work. Okay,
To
that's
work.
what's attractive about him. That he's
That's
got.
right.
Sometimes women say, "Well, what's his vision?" His vision. If you really think about it, men, if you ask yourself, how many of y'all, where your family set y'all around the table and said, "I'm gonna teach you how to write a vision." Right? But yet we're told to get a man who has a vision, who has six figures and all this. Listen, let me show you what you need to be watching out for. A man that operates in responsibility. And you can see that in his life. He gets up in the morning. He goes to work. He takes care of the grass. He cleans the gutters. He sits down and raises his boys and his girls. He spends time with his wife. It shows up, his vision shows up in his daily responsibilities.
It's his
Though he may not
action.
have it written down, he's living it. That's what
Queen,
you know.
Queen Toy, I got to be honest. I got moist listening to you talk about this man.
You know what?
And just
Let me
takes
tell
care
you
of
something.
responsibility.
While
I
the
was
rest of
like,
y'all getting
girl, what he had.
Yeah.
I'm listening. I was moist.
Uh,
You talking that talk. You talk that talk, Rihanna to me.
I
was like,
can't even
yeah.
do it. Hey, folks,
Yes.
we'll be right back after this commercial break, and then we're going to be closing out our show. We'll be right back, and all the rest of y'all can continue to get moist with Precious.
of mine always bad for me. So what's standing in my way? When you tell him I leave, I feel insecure, but I hope this is real, yeah. He doesn't mind at all. He want my juice like a, he does whatever what it feels for nobody but himself, no, yeah.
So guys, you know what? I'm just going to tell you, you cannot miss tomorrow night's show with Galen McDowell, the metaphysics behind relationships and positive thinking is Rockstar. The men, of course, you know, they always bring it every Thursday. And then we have Dr. Rachel Ray. I'm telling you, you guys, the lineup on the 5S to Love Network is really hot. I cannot wait to announce our newest show. I'm really excited. This person knows that their show is coming, and I'm really excited because that means we're going to be on 6 days a week, bringing you the business, and keep it right, because that's what this is about. Our network is about really showing people how to love themselves and love one another and love their relationships, whether it be with yourself or with another person, with God, your faith, whatever it is, you got to make the most of it. So I'm going to tell you, that's what this network is all about. So listen, guys, before we close out, because this show is hot and heavy, we got to go back a little bit. So the thing is, I want to say, Yvette, thank you. I want to say thanks to all my friends and family and the friends and family of all the co-hosts on the Ladies Real Talk. Thank you so much for supporting the brand. Thank you, ladies, so much for being a part of this. Yvette is watching us from Texas. She's on Facebook. She said, amen. A man better not ask me for money. And let me tell you something. She like East Side. And so Drew want to know, how does he support your lifestyle if he makes less money than you? You know what, Drew? We're gonna answer that question in a minute because you're right. How does a person help me buy my couture? I don't know what's happening because my couture, I need it. Nicole say yes, Toy. It's beyond finances, and it is. Anissa chimed in. She said, Precious is the real, LOL. Precious, why you got a fan club? Huh?
I mean, everywhere I go, I mean, you know.
Okay. Here, another one, Precious. What is that? That's what you got, a fan club? What is happening? Should we start your own fan club, please? And then here, all right, Toy, operating in responsibility. Just to let y'all know, Cook is a woman of faith. I do Bible study with her on Wednesdays, which tomorrow's Bible studies, and I love it. That's my gal pal. All right, and I'm going to tell you, Gerald, thank you so much for joining us. He said, careful, Precious. There are men on this call.
You don't say. You don't say.
Auntie.
Y'all be thinking 4-figure divas out here struggling. Ain't no struggle with that. Nah.
Okay, so look, we're gonna finish this up, and we're gonna finish it up right. So, ladies, I'm just gonna tell you right now. Do you know where to find a man that you're looking for? Do you know where?
Can somebody tell me, please? Because I'm having problems.
No, you gotta find me.
I'm not looking like that. You're right, Roz. But even where I am, they don't be there. I don't know.
He has to find me.
Okay, but this is the question.
But Roz, I'm in the house all the time. He can't find me if I'm in the
get
house.
out. You gotta
He can't, Sheila.
It's
he cannot.
Do y'all see how why I be speaking all the time? I be speaking all over, be flued out like an Instagram thotty. I'm meeting. I'm out here in these streets. I'm out here in these streets. But I'm a speaker, not Instagram thotty, but I get flued out to train and to teach, and I'm meeting people all over the world. It's a beautiful thing, baby.
Sounds like we got to travel with Precious.
And guess what? I connected him with Chris.
So so Roz is right. So what I'm gonna say is Roz is so great. Wherever she goes, she always connects people to my tech company. She's gotten me more connections than I would have thought of. Like, she's in Chicago and put me on the phone with a guy who's like, I want to partner with you on some projects because I need a female tech company, right? And it was just that quick for her. And I'm going to tell you, she was just in a room with like 20 eligible men. And she thought of me. And the guy was like, why aren't you here? I thought you were supposed to be here. I said, well, wait a minute now. Okay, 6. I just want to be, so I couldn't make it. But let me.
Precious like, why wasn't I there?
it's about branding and marketing. And Toy and I talked about this, right? And this is a big picture. A certain type of man is in certain places, and he's not going to be at the club. The man you're looking for is not at the club.
Right.
Yes.
Or at the bar.
And they're not at the bar.
Or DJing.
And they're not, and I'm not going to say they're not on online dating, but this is what I will say. Every man that I talked to that I did my focus group with, and you all don't know that I do this, I actually talk to people about the show who view it. And I have some people watching, and then we do a focus group. You know what they said? You meet the best men, grocery stores, gas stations. And they said friends. Like Toy's husband knows somebody who's single. He's a good man and good.
He ain't did it yet. So he ain't did it yet. I know her husband.
Joy, you see how she did a shout out on your husband? No, you don't.
I love her husband. That's my big brother. So
he is. If you watch this, Sheila loves you. Don't act like that.
I had a birthday get together at the Waldorf Astoria years ago in New York. I thought I was somebody's, but I was like, yeah, it's my birthday. I went into their bar area, and do y'all know what I never saw for the first time in real life? It was men in there drinking old fashioned, doing deals, and they were so fun and kind.
Wow.
I said, y'all over here having nice drinks, and y'all. I said, I've been doing this wrong. I've been doing this.
Yeah.
And they were so cool because it was a different type of atmosphere. Because I don't go in clubs like. Who do that? I'm not with that. But it was very nice. And I just want to share this with you ladies who are in the Detroit area. So my session today was sponsored by Voyage Detroit. So I did a training here at IMEX 2022, and it was under Voyage Detroit. So I just want to let y'all know. Yeah, I see y'all.
Thank you for the shout out for Detroit. I'm going to tell you guys the best place to find men is at the golf course, the cigar lounge, in the sports bars where a lot of men are just watching sports and just enjoying it. And the other thing is that one of the things that Roz turned me on, Roz went to an event that was at an all men's club, right? And sometimes you need to go and look at if they're doing networking events where women are allowed to come. You're in a room full of men, and at least 20% of them are going to be single. But these are men who are part of an organization. They're trying to do things within the community. So I'm going to say, ladies, if you want to meet the right guy, it's not in the club. Those guys are just something to do for that night, for that moment. They're not your life partner.
Listen,
I was for business, just so you know.
Okay, and I just
you know what? This could be another topic, Chris. I hear you, but I'm such a traditionalist that I feel like so many women are there that I don't want to devalue myself by showing up. I know I get it. I know I'm probably gonna get pushback for that, but I just don't put myself in those scenarios because I don't want to. Just that's why I don't online date. Maybe I need to change the way I do things.
Online dating.
I mean, just in general. I want to go to places where I'm going to have a good time and have fun. I don't want to go places where I'm going to put myself and be one of the dozens or 30, 40 women that these men are picking. Almost
you mean with the online dating?
No, she's talking about the club. That was for me.
Or the atmosphere where it's just a bunch of men. I'm just not designed that way. And I don't want to feel like, I know he's got to find me, but to me, I don't want to be herded like cattle.
Okay, I want to be clear. Online dating is not for everybody, but I'm gonna tell you.
No, I'm just saying. I just use online dating as an example. Hey, mom, that's my mama.
That's what I was trying to get because we get ready to close out the show. Yep. Sandra said, she said that's Sheila's mama. Sheila mama in the house. See how she goes, Sheila mom is in the house. Who mama do a shout out on herself? She just did a full shout out on herself. All right, mama. She did a full shout out. Nicole says Roz is the plug. Okay, because Roz is.
Right. She is.
I could have got probably whatever. I ain't gonna put my business in the street. Okay, congratulations, Precious. That's what Nick said. We got events. She said, yes, that's exactly where I hang out. The golf clubs, the cigar lounges, and tons of men. And it is. And I'm going to tell you, I went the other day, and everybody knows, one of my brothers who I love, Eric was like, let's do it. I went. Now, mind you, I had to hang all my clothes out after I got home and washed my hair. But I didn't socialize, and they had good food. What'd you say, wow, Chris, for Gerald? Okay, I'm going to call you later, Gerald. I don't know what's happening. All right, bye. Okay. So then the next thing was, so Anissa says, a man at the club After the money.
Wait,
Don't do
Anissa,
it.
Anissa, somebody just texted me and asked me for a couple dollars. So
Ooh,
somebody-
why we doing it? Nicole said, meet the man at the museums, events like Roz mentioned, the libraries, the coffee shops, the golf course, traveling abroad and meetings. I've left a lot of people in the airport, believe it or not.
It's true.
Yeah.
The guy I met who was in you know what I'm saying, in government work, I met him at the airport. I thought I was being arrested, but we're gonna get into that. I met a man at the museum events, like Roz said. Okay, that was a repeat. Okay, so listen, folks, this is what I'm gonna tell you. Oh, I'm sorry, we got one more. Also, dating outside of your race is an option. I've dated outside my race, and she said, and they don't have any money issues, spending money. They don't have a problem with spending no money.
That's some of them.
Okay, Gerald said, not one of you said, oh my God, Gerald shouted us out. He said,
I was thinking it, Gerald.
I was just about to
If
say
they
that.
only go to church,
Okay,
the church
Gerald.
it don't matter.
Okay, Gerald, I'm gonna be honest with you. It's nobody at my church.
Well,
They
you
all
gotta go
married.
visit somebody else's church, Christine.
Okay, but let
Listen,
me
there-
Toy, when
My
I go
church
to
is
your
having a
church,
singles event next week, y'all. You want to hear about it? Come back.
okay, so Toy, at your church, if I show up, it's about 20 other regular women who come in and they fabulous before I even got there. That's
you ain't gotta
waiting for
worry
that
about
one
it.
or
You
two single
unique. He's
men.
looking for you. The one that's what you never have to worry about is if they're. I don't understand this competition thing. The man who wants you is only gonna have an eye
Right.
for you. You don't have to
That is
worry
so
about
true.
nobody else in the room. And
That's
church is
right.
a good place, but not just church. I'm talking about Bible study. You want to, like, if there's a woman that's looking for a man of God will go outside of Sunday. He'll go on Tuesday night to Bible
That's
study.
right.
So if you want a man who
Bible
really in the word,
study.
that go to the Bible study, go to the singles events that is dedicated to, building singles up. And also
I
you
like
want to
that.
meet men, where you want his interest to be. Like, for instance, if you like the theater and you want a man who likes to enjoy to go to theater and events like that, then go to the theater. If you want a corporate man, then look for, go to the corporate events. And I'm not saying for you to just go out here. I'm not saying for you to go out here and solicit events purposely, but you're not going to be seen if you're a lot of us work at home.
Yeah.
You got to get out. Okay, but I'm gonna tell you,
I just want to address one issue when you get finished, Queen Toy.
I'm gonna say the number one way to get a great man, and that's on your knees in prayer, and you don't have to put any pressure on that because God will send them your way. You got to trust and believe that God will prepare him, and set y'all up in such a way that you're going to get cucumbers, and he right over there get some strawberries. Hey, can we put this salad together?
I love that she say. I love that, Precious. You can't. What you gonna say to follow Toy with the cucumbers and the strawberries? Let's make a salad.
I just want to bring it back to some. I feel like sometimes I gotta say what's happening in reality. If a lot of people have grown up always feeling ugly or always being told certain things, and they can go out with all their girlfriends and no one's talking to them. I hear you about praying and whatever. Some women get into their 40s and 50s and it still doesn't happen. And to say that, I'm not saying that it should happen so fast, but I do think that there is a segment of the population that is never addressed in these conversations. Maybe they don't work a tour. Maybe they live in certain places. Maybe they don't have the particular job, whatever it is, but they're forgotten about as if everybody is living the same life and they're not. And, you can go to all these places. It doesn't mean they're going to look at you. If you look at whatever Lizzo's going through, or what some of these other people are going through, being talked about here, but be secretly DM, I'm going to see you later, that kind of thing. These things are happening.
Right.
I pray. I am on my knees. And there are great men out there. What I am saying is that some things take a lot longer, and you may not, I'm not the Hollywood standard. And so I treat myself as if I'm the new standard. Some people can't take it. I can. But I am saying that it's nice to have great conversations where this is the ideal. Most people just don't live in an ideal world.
Okay, but let me say this to you. Most of us do not walk around as supermodels. That's not the case. Most of us are average people that put ourselves together. We do our hair, we go to the hairdresser, we put our makeup and dress ourselves the best way we possibly can. I've seen women who are full figured with great men. I've seen women who are small figured with no men. It is, listen, you have to, I believe that the most attractive thing on a woman is confidence. And if you are not there, I realize that the reason why sometimes why God will not open or expose you to men. I'm not talking about you, Precious. I'm talking about sometimes, like when I had low self-esteem, that I couldn't be the woman that my husband needed me to be because I became more of a patient than a wife to him. And so sometimes we need to focus on developing ourselves and doing. It's when you don't have to have a man. Is when you're ready for one. And I believe, and I don't care what no one says, but I believe prayer works, and a faith and a trust in God, that knowing that the perfect time that God is going to send that guy your way. I truly believe that. Now, if someone believes it and then they don't, well, then that's them. And that's where your faith is not complete. But I believe that when you ask, I have a God who answers, that opens his ears or opens to my prayer, and that whatever I ask for, I will receive if it's timing for it. Because there's things I've asked for that God didn't give it. And I was so glad he didn't, because I wasn't prepared for it.
This is so true.
I believe
so
that
true.
prayer
This is so true.
does work.
All right, so folks, one, I want you guys to be prepared that we're going to close out this show in a few minutes. And understand this, Miss Toy said, don't come with your little basket talking about this is how it's going down, and you ain't put your prayers in. Okay, don't come with your little basket, Red Riding Hoods. Don't do it, because your basket gonna come back with no goodies in it. Gerald says, Toy, now you got a little fan club. He said you right, Miss Toy. He didn't put Miss Toy in it.
I like Gerald. Come back, Gerald.
Gerald said, I'm hitting up every week. Let's go.
Gerald, the lady said come back every week. They like you. So Gerald, you got your own little fan club of ladies on the show that say come back. So
Mine's got a fan club too. Let's read that next
got a fan club. So I want the name of Roz's hairstylist, or send it to me, please. Thank you.
Okay,
Roz, you get a lot of glow out of this hair.
Comment.
Roz, you're gonna have to hit them comments to hit her up. Gerald said the gym. He said, I don't want to be
another one, Gerald. Gerald got the list. He got the
Chris
list.
said, I don't want to be a big belly man. He gonna put Chris after it. Really, Gerald? Okay. You know, I'm a shout out. That's what friends are for. That's what we're doing tonight, Gerald. What's happening? Okay, Anita, and again, this is Auntie. Auntie says confidence. So you got to have confidence. And I agree with you, Auntie. Everybody needs confidence. And our last comment for tonight is coming from Yvette. She said, preach, Miss Toy. Toy, I'm going to tell you, you got listen, the Satisfied Wives Club, I'm going to start calling it the First Wives Club. Y'all need to get in it and try to be a first wife, a wife, whatever you're going to do. Christine, I need to be in the class. So y'all know I got to close out the show. I got to talk to each person. So I'm going to go ahead and hit Miss Toy since everybody on you. Miss Toy, what you got going on this week? What we got?
Well, for everyone who's interested in becoming a satisfied wife or a future satisfied wife, because the club is for both single and married women, you can go to www.satisfiedwifeclub.com. We equip wives and future wives with the principles and tools to creating and maintaining satisfaction in your marriage or even in your future marriage. But in the meantime, Green Time, November 5th, right here in Detroit, we are doing an event called Father, Teach Me How to Cook and Serve My Man for Thanksgiving. So we are bringing the men in. They're going to cook, and then they're going to teach about what men want. They're going to take questions from the audience. Oh, it's going to be a hot topic. Listen, it's nothing like a man that know how to cook, right? And then they're going to serve us. Woo! I can't wait. Y'all got to come. Listen, there's a limited amount of tickets. This is going to be sold out really quickly. Last year we had, when we brought them in before, it was a packed house. So you better go get your tickets right now. You got girlfriend ticket, group tickets available as well. All you have to do is go to www.satisfiedwifeclub.com.
Oh my gosh, Toy, I feel like I need to be broadcasting live that day from the event. We can show everybody what they missing. We're going to have to talk offline. I might have to do it live from there. Set up them cameras, girl. All right, now what we got over here? Let me see. Sheila, what you got? What we talking about? What you got? Where's Sheila?
I can't come behind Miss Toy or Precious. I got nothing.
What I was like, what's the adventures? What the adventures with Sheila and Christine? What are we doing this fall? What are we
We
doing?
got a lot in store. There's quite a few things on the list. So we got some games and some concerts to go to. We're going to do some traveling. So more to come.
And we working out, ladies. You're going to see us working out.
Right.
We're going to do some working out. And we going to some wine tastings. The whole goal of Sheila and Christine is to show you what real girlfriends look like, hang out, have fun. And it's not about men. Now, mind you, do we meet different people? Yes. We're not going to say we don't. But it's all about showing you how to just hang out with your girlfriend and do what you do. That's all it's about.
Right.
And just have fun. And let our hair down. And all the time, it's not Sheila. Sometimes it's a bunch of us out together. Just to let you know, and it's not always just me and Sheila. But out of respect, we just put us out there because, everybody don't want to be on social media. So just to let you know, we just do gal, pal, power, fun. That's all we do. That's all we celebrate. Okay, Sheila, thank you so much. All right, what's going on, Roz? What you got? Roz, half of your face is in.
Okay, I'm in now.
Roz,
Okay,
are you telling people get their businesses together? What you doing?
Absolutely. I'm all about women in business. I'm an advocate. I'm also a minority business advocate. And most of all, I love to have fun. I'm celebrating my birthday this year. So I'm nervous and excited at the same time. I'm 60 this year. So Lord willing, I'm having a wonderful birthday party. I'm going to celebrate my friends and family. I'm looking forward to just really being one with me, not letting my hair down. I cut it all off, but I'm still going to let it down. I really, really appreciate this opportunity to be on your show, Chris. Just to be able to, talk my stuff. But more than anything, I want to be on Toy. I want to be in Toy's presence. A man that can cook for me. Absolutely. I want to be there. So
look, Toy, did you see me?
How much is it? I'm there.
Okay, look, I'm gonna make sure I send you, Roz. I'm gonna send you the invite because me and Sheila going. We going just to see the men cook. That's we going for the cooking, the preparing. We gonna be all up in it. And by the way, let y'all know, I'm gonna talk to Miss Toy to see if I can do a Facebook Live because I want to broadcast. I want to stream it on the platform because I want people to see the work that Toy does when it comes to just cooking and networking and relationship building. Folks, it's pure genius. I'm going to be honest, it's pure genius. And I want you guys to see it. So we're going to see if we can put that on the 5F's to Love network where everybody can see it on all the platforms and just watch it. So if you can't buy a ticket and you're out of state, people in state, you need to get a ticket and experience it. If you out of state and you want Toy to come to your state and do it, you're going to have to DM her and see what's up. So I'm going to say before we go, let's finish it out with basically the guy that we all love, which is Gerald. Thank you so much for joining us. He says, I like every one of the ladies. They all make great points.
Thank you, Gerald.
Aw, thank you.
So I'm going to say you won the cast over. And why would I expect nothing less? So, guys, thank you so much for joining me. If you can give me 1 second, I'm going to close out the podcast. So listen, folks, I want to thank everybody for joining us on the 5F's to Love Network. And Real Talk with the Ladies is all about having positive conversation about who we are. And like Precious said, just real conversations. We started out with various concepts or ideas about what a six-figure or a high-powered woman or high-powered man looks like. The bottom line is when you take it all away, your title, your money is all about you. Are you in the right place? Do you have the right faith? Do you have the belief and confidence in yourself to attract the right person? That's what it's about. And are you ready? That's all I got to say. You cannot be getting ready. You got to be ready. Thanks everybody for joining this week. And we did go a little bit over, but we appreciate everybody's support. We'll see you next Tuesday on Real Talk with the Ladies.
My name is Christine Burkett, the inventor of the 5F's to Love. This is a compatibility app. It's an app that gives you an opportunity to rate words that start with the letter F in chronological order of importance to you, to help you find your one true love, your soulmate, and the person you're going to spend the rest of your life with. So after you've taken the time to rate your F's in chronological order, you send a link to the person, you just met, or the person you've been dating for quite some time. Or maybe it's the person you've been married to for 30 to 40 to 50 years. And then you compare your top 5 F's. to find out what things you have in common and things that you may perhaps need to work on. This is taking a simplistic perspective on how to find your one true love, your soulmate, the person you're going to spend the rest of your life with. And thank you for downloading the 5Fs